Right now at 6, more bitter cold temps are on the way. Austin is standing by with your certified most accurate forecast. And COVID is spreading rapidly across the country. We'll have the latest pandemic headlines. That's all coming up at News 3 Now at 6. Well, it's a little bit warmer outside today compared to the last couple of days, but you're going to want to bundle up as we get closer to Monday. Meteorologist Austin Kopninski joins us now with your certified most accurate forecast.
And these temperatures really have continued to rise all day long, and it's not done just yet. We're actually going to see temperatures rising into the upper 20s even over these next few hours, but we still do have some very light precipitation around the area, and that is leading to some freezing drizzle for a few spots. It's really hard to actually get picked up on the radar because of the nature of this very light precipitation, but there are still winter weather advisories that have been put into effect until midnight here for tonight. Currently the ground not too slick yet, but there is still that potential to see some of that freezing drizzle. It's not the greatest chance, but there is still a chance here over the next few hours. Again, that'll be done and all moved out by the time we reach midnight. Doppler tracks trying to show a little bit of something, but again, with how light this precipitation is, it's really just going to struggle to get picked up on that Doppler track. It's a little bit better here to get picked up down south. That's where they're also seeing a little bit more of that freezing drizzle compared to what we're actually looking at here. But then you look at our temperatures, we're seeing the low to mid 20s, and they're on the rise. By the time we actually have our 10 p.m. show tonight, it's likely going to be around 28 degrees, but then we're going to cool things right back down. An alert day in the forecast for Monday night and early Tuesday morning. It'll be around 5 degrees below zero with wind chills of around 20 to 25 below zero. So make sure you stay tuned. I'll have all the details on that and a look at your extended forecast coming up.
Thanks so much, Austin. And before that alert day, make sure you have our First Warn Forecast Weather app. It's free and available in the App Store. Developing at 6 tonight, a Dane County Sheriff's deputy is okay after their squad car was rear-ended by a suspected drunk driver overnight. This happened on the Beltline at Seminole Highway. Officers say the deputy was completing a crash investigation in his squad car with his emergency lights on at the time. That's when his car was hit by a driver who didn't slow down or move over. Officials say the man that was driving that car was a 22-year-old from Baraboo. He was arrested on suspicion of operating while intoxicated. New tonight, the Diocese of Madison is asking congregations to take the current wave of COVID cases seriously. In a statement to News 3 Now, the diocese says all parishes are encouraged to social distance, live stream masses online, and wear a mask during Mass. The new guidance comes on the heels of another record number of cases right here in Wisconsin. DHS reported more than 12,000 new cases yesterday over a 24-hour span. The 7-day average of cases is more than 7,600. Every county in the state has at least a very high level of COVID activity. DHS is now officially recommending COVID booster shots for anyone ages 12 and up. The CDC made the recommendation Thursday, and now DHS is following suit. Pfizer is the only booster approved right now for children that age. And as we get more cases in Madison, the 24th Annual Home Expo is moving forward this weekend at Monona Terrace. The event is expected to attract more than 10,000 visitors. Organizers say they're closely working with public health to employ the latest best practices, but proof of vaccination is not required. And UW-Madison is expanding its mask mandate on March 1st. The school says it plans on purchasing thousands of masks for both their students and their staff. UW is also providing booster shots for anyone still looking for one. More than 95% of the students and faculty are fully vaccinated. There's growing concern tonight for children as the Omicron variant drives more Americans to the hospital. Data shows a record level of COVID hospital cases among children, with about 800 new admissions each day. Paulo Sandoval has more.
It's been a week of clashes, confrontations, and a lot of angst over schools reopening. Chicago, the largest school district in the nation with classes in limbo. That's because of a standoff between the teachers union and Chicago Public Schools. The union insisting on virtual learning, while the mayor is pushing for schools to stay open.
I think we've made significant progress over the last 2 days, but I want a deal done this weekend. Our kids need to be back in school. Schools are safe.
In Georgia, public school teachers who test positive for COVID-19 but remain asymptomatic no longer have to isolate before returning to school if masked, and contact tracing in schools no longer required. That's according to a letter to school leaders released Thursday from Governor Brian Kemp and Public Health Commissioner Kathleen Toomey. And in New York, nearly 13% of New York City students have tested positive for COVID-19. That's according to sample testing from the New York City Department of Education on Thursday. Health experts say the U.S. needs to change its COVID-19 strategy to face a new normal.
The new normal is the way we live with flu. We're going to live with the coronavirus. It's going to be around. People are going to get infected, but hopefully few people will be hospitalized and even fewer people will die from it. And we'll be able to go about our lives as we did before.
The FDA has now amended the emergency use authorization for Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine, shortening the period of time between initial vaccination and the booster shot to at least 5 months for those over the age of 18. Meanwhile, experts say vaccines need to evolve.
What we need is, first of all, improve on our vaccines, and you're going to see a lot of work being done to try to get us what we call the next generation vaccines. Over the course of the next weeks to months is a much more wide-scale availability of these very effective drugs, if given early in the illness, can actually greatly reduce the likelihood of severe disease, hospitalizations, and deaths. But so if you combine vaccines and drugs together, I think we really can put a big dent in this virus, not just in high-income countries, but around the world.
Nearly 2/3 of the eligible U.S. population now fully vaccinated against COVID-19, according to the CDC. A top health expert said in order to get to a place where the coronavirus is endemic like the flu, the U.S. has a lot to do.
We have to get to a situation where what we're seeing from coronavirus is not big surges. We need many more people vaccinated in this case. We need additional therapies, not just the couple of oral therapies we currently have. We need to upgrade our air filtration system. We got to get the prevalence down, and then we'll be able to get to a new normal.
If you do test positive, Public Health wants to remind you to report an at-home COVID test. A positive PCR test from health physicians are automatically reported, but those rapid tests that you take at home are not. We have information on how you can do that on our website. Next at 6, the trial of Chandler Halderson will resume in Madison Monday morning. Yesterday, prosecutors played a video of the interview he conducted with investigators before ultimately being arrested for the murder of his parents. In the nearly 2-hour interview, detectives asked Halderson to recount his version of the events leading up to and after his parents supposedly left to go to their cabin. At that time, he didn't know the sheriff's office had discovered the dismembered torso of his dad, Bart, along with multiple cutting tools. At the end of the timeline and a review of Chandler's statements, the detectives cut to the chase and confronted him. They thought he was lying.
I think it's time we start talking about what happened to your parents, like the truthful version. Okay. So we have like 20 pages of writing. We're going to start with a clean white piece of paper for you to start telling the truth. Okay. Because listen to me. This is the only chance you're going to have to tell us the truth.
Halderson denied being there when something happened to his parents and was eventually booked into jail. We have an in-depth look at the trial, including an interactive timeline on our website, channel3000.com. Flags across the country are flying at half-staff today in honor of the former U.S. Senator Harry Reid. The longtime senator from Nevada died last month at the age of 82 following a 4-year battle with cancer. President Biden and former President Obama are among those delivering remarks at Reid's memorial service today in Las Vegas. We'll hear from both Biden and Obama coming up tonight at 10. The Dane County Farmers Market is back for the winter. Coming up at 6, how they're making sure you can safely see your favorite vendors each weekend.
Family is just very important.
She's my sister, and we depend on each other a lot.
She's the rock of the family. She's the person who holds everything together.
It's a battle, you know, I'm gonna be there.
Keytruda and chemotherapy been treated my cancer with 2 different types of medicine.
In a clinical trial, Keytruda and chemotherapy was proven to help people live longer than chemotherapy alone. Keytruda is used to treat more patients with advanced lung cancer than any other immunotherapy. Keytruda may be used with certain chemotherapies as your first treatment. If you have advanced non-squamous non-small cell lung cancer and you do not have an abnormal EGFR or ALK gene, Keytruda helps your immune system fight cancer, but can also cause your immune system to attack healthy parts of your body. This can happen during or after treatment and may be severe and lead to death. See your doctor right away if you have cough, shortness of breath, chest pain, diarrhea, severe stomach pain or tenderness, severe nausea or vomiting, headache, light sensitivity, eye problems, irregular heartbeat, extreme tiredness, constipation, dizziness or fainting, changes in appetite, thirst, or urine, confusion or memory problems, muscle pain or weakness, fever, rash, itching, or flushing. These are not all the possible side effects. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions, including immune system problems, or if you've had an organ transplant, had or plan to have a stem cell transplant, or have had radiation to your chest area or a nervous system condition.
It feels good to be here for them.
Living longer is possible. It's true. Keytruda from Merck. Ask your doctor about Keytruda.
Psoriasis really messes with you.
Try, hope, fail.
No one should suffer like that.
I started Cosentix. 5 years clear.
Real people with psoriasis look and feel better with Cosentix. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentix. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections, some serious, and the lowered ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor about an infection or symptoms, or if you've had a vaccine or plan to. Tell your doctor if your Crohn's disease symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions may occur.
Best move I ever made.
Ask your dermatologist about Cosentix.
You are watching News 3 Now at 6.
The Dane County Farmers Market is back this weekend at its new home for the next couple of months. Christina Laurie shows us the changes market managers are making with this ongoing COVID surge.
It's a big year for the Dane County Farmers Market.
2022 is our 50th anniversary.
This spring, the Saturday morning tradition will celebrate 50 years on the Capitol Square. But until then,
we're following all PHMDC guidelines. Everyone is masked up.
You'll find your favorite producers here at the Garver Feed Mill.
The best part about selling at the late winter market would be meeting or seeing all of our customers again.
The late winter market moved into the renovated mill on Madison's east side in 2019, a big and beautiful space.
We have a capacity limit of 500 people that we're paying extra close attention to.
That also fills up fast. The market is following current health guidelines requiring face masks for everyone 2 and older.
We know that everybody that comes to our farmers market enjoys the market, and they take their own precautions, so we keep ourselves covered up and our hands washed.
So that farmers, bakers, and craft makers can focus on selling and not spreading anything this winter.
We're looking forward to continuing to grow food for our community.
In Madison, Christina Laurie, News 3 Now.
The Farmers Market's 50th outdoor season will kick off on April 20th on the Capitol Square. President Biden is reacting to a disappointing jobs report. After the break, why he says the U.S. economy is still heading in the right direction. Plus, Austin's going to have another check with your First Warn forecast. Stay with us.
You know what I'm going to miss most about space?
What's that?
How easy it is to keep up my saving habit. There's nothing to buy up here.
We're making it easier to save on Earth, too. When you open a savings builder account at BMO Harris, you can get a cash reward for every month you save.
Anything to help launch my savings?
Sure. When you open a checking account, we'll give you $200 to kickstart your savings progress.
$200 and a monthly savings reward.
It's a way to save that won't weigh you down. It's a little space humor.
When a bank helps you make real financial progress, that's the BMO effect.
To be a thriver with metastatic breast cancer means asking for what we want and need, and we need more time. So we want Kisqali. Women are living longer than ever before with Kisqali when taken with an aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant in postmenopausal women with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer. Kisqali is a pill that's significantly more effective at delaying disease progression versus an aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant alone. Kisqali can cause lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious skin reactions, liver problems, and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, a change in your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdomen pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other other symptoms of an infection, a severe or worsening rash, are or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Avoid grapefruit during treatment. Ask your doctor about living longer with Kisqali.
You protected our rights, preserved our freedom. You may have even risked your life for us. Now, it's our turn to fight for you. Your local Wisconsin emergency, energy, and housing assistance providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund reward the service of our veterans with rental and energy support in their time of crisis. Apply today to get the fresh start you've earned.
2 households, 2 sick kids, 2 loads of snot-covered laundry. Both will be washed with detergent, but only one will be sanitized.
Wait, what?
Make the wash work harder. Protection. Because adding Lysol laundry sanitizer to your wash kills 99.9% of illness-causing bacteria. Detergent alone can't.
Why can't hers be sanitized too? Aw, thank you.
Clean is good. Sanitized is better. Lysol, what it takes to protect.
President Biden is using the newest jobs report to make his pitch for a Build Back Better agenda, even though members of his own party admit a path forward is hard to see. Caitlin Collins reports.
President Biden dissecting a puzzling jobs report.
I would argue the Biden economic plan is working and is getting America back to work, back on its feet.
The U.S. economy adding only 199,000 jobs in December, even before Omicron's big surge, making it the weakest jobs report of 2021. But Biden is looking on the bright side, highlighting how unemployment fell to 3.9%, the best level since the pandemic began.
The sharpest one-year drop in unemployment in United States history.
Overall, the U.S. economy now has about 6.4 million more jobs than it did at the start of 2021, but it is still 3.6 million jobs short of pre-pandemic levels.
We brought down the poverty rate. It went from 20 million people on unemployment rolls a year ago to under 2 million people on the unemployment rolls today.
While acknowledging that inflation is still a persistent problem, Biden highlighted an impressive increase in wages.
Desk clerks, line cooks, wait staff, bellmen, their pay went up almost 16% this year, far ahead of inflation, which is still a concern.
Labor Secretary Marty Walsh acknowledging there's still a lot of work to do.
Clearly, we have some work to do in early 2022 here as we move forward here. We have work to do. There's no question about it.
The president dismissing Republican criticism that he's out of touch with Americans' economic pain, even deploying one of his favorite terms.
A lot of people are still suffering, they say. Well, they are. Or that I'm not focused on inflation. Malarkey. They want to talk down the recovery because they voted against the legislation that made it happen.
The Omicron variant ripping through the United States is also now delaying President Biden's State of the Union.
Madam Speaker, the President of the United States.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi inviting the president to deliver his address on March 1st, making it the first time in nearly 90 years the historic address wasn't held in January or February.
A White House spokesperson says the president has accepted the invitation to deliver that address on March 1st. To weather now. It has gotten cold over the past few days, and that means that Lake Mendota is now officially frozen over. That's according to the Clean Lakes Alliance. The January 7th freeze date is only 4 days after last year's freeze date, which was January 3rd. And this weekend, the city's Parks Department says Tenney Park is now open for ice skating at the lagoon and the ice rinks. It says Warner Park, the Warner Park Lagoon is also open, and rentals are available at Elver, Tenney, and Vilas today and tomorrow. All right, where are your skates at, Austin?
That's a good question. And earlier in the year, we actually had a little competition to see who would guess the closest date to whenever Lake Mendota would freeze over. I guess January 3rd. So I was pretty close, but a little bit afterwards. I was off by about a half of a week there. I'll take it, though. And then we're looking at a few things of note. Freezing drizzle is still going to be a possibility over these next few hours in the early part of tonight as well. Then we're really going to see a mostly dry week for next week. Just a few chances to see some flurries right now, and then bitter cold looks to return on Sunday. So if you like the more mild conditions we have outside right now, not going to stick around for too long, but the end of this next week will warm right back up, and it's going to stay quite cold all the way through Tuesday morning, which is actually an alert day. I'll have more on that in just a moment, but right now let's talk about the winter weather advisories that are in effect until midnight for a lot of our communities, especially the southern half of our communities, and this is just because of that light glaze that's a potential from freezing drizzle here and there, and a lot of us haven't really seen too much yet, but this does go until midnight, so we have a few more hours to go. Now, most of that freezing drizzle is actually staying down to the south of the state line, but there is still that potential to bring just enough moisture up here into southern Wisconsin to cause some of that freezing drizzle, and we already have seen some of that right now. But you can see on our actual satellite radar down south is where you could see a little bit more of that activity. It's very light here locally, so it's just not getting picked up on our local radar. And then you look at our future track, temperatures actually looking pretty good all the way through about midnight. Then we're going to see these temperatures really falling off here by the time we do see tomorrow morning. Once you wake up, we're going to see temperatures in even the single digits for some of our western communities, and a lot of us are going to start the morning with some lower to mid-teens. Then those temperatures continue to slide throughout the day, cooling things down. And then by the time we see Sunday night into early Monday morning, temperatures aren't looking as cold, but we're still going to stick in those single digits pretty much all day on Monday. And then Monday night into early Tuesday morning, this is whenever those temperatures really are going to get quite cold, even a few degrees below zero for a lot of these communities. And that has prompted that alert day to go into effect there for that Monday night into Tuesday morning. Winds they're going to be on the lighter side of things, but they will bring down our wind chills. It'll be about 25 below zero at times, so quite cold outside, especially on that Tuesday morning. And this extended forecast does show that chance of flurries on Friday, but other than that, really not too much to talk about in terms of precipitation. But if that changes, of course, we're going to let you know.
Austin, I'm just curious. Have you ever gone ice fishing?
You know, I never have personally, but I would actually love to. It's on my bucket list, and around here, I mean, this is the perfect place to do it, am I right?
Yeah, just, you know, find the nearest tent and you're good to go.
Right, I'll just call up Dana Fulton. I'm sure she'll be out at some point over the next few weeks, and she'll love to take me, I'm sure.
Absolutely. All right, we're on next year's Christmas list, ice shanty. Thanks, Austin. The Packers' big names will be on the field tomorrow, and Matt LaFleur explains why next in sports.
Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Your heart is at the heart of everything you do. And if you have heart failure, entrust your heart to Entresto. It's the #1 heart failure brand prescribed by cardiologists. Entresto is proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Heart failure can change the structure of your heart, so it may not work as well. Entresto helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. And with a healthier heart, there's no telling where life may take you. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto for heart failure. Entrust your heart to Entresto.
Prepare to feel good in 2022. Join Planet Fitness now for zero enrollment, $10 a month, extended to January 14th. Enjoy tons of equipment in our clean clubs for zero enrollment.
Zero enrollment?
And $10 a month.
That makes me so happy.
You know what else will make you happy? Blowing off steam in our judgment-free zone.
It's all about the endorphins, baby. What's up?
It's this place, I tell you.
Amen, baby.
Feel Fit-tacular in 2022 for zero enrollment, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends January 14th.
Welcome to the lifestyles of the smart and savvy. Today, the Coopers are a cost-conscious couple. But back in the day, not so much. Now, saving is more their style, which is why they chose Consumer Cellular. They get the same premium coverage as the nation's leading carriers for half the cost. Imagine talk, text, and data starting at $20 a month. and award-winning customer service. Switch to Consumer Cellular today and start saving.
In a recent clinical study,
patients using Salonpas patch reported reductions in pain severity,
using less or a lot less oral pain medicines,
and improved quality of life. That's why we recommend Salonpas. It's good medicine.
Ahead of the Halderson trial resuming on Monday, we'll recap the first week of testimonies.
And we'll be going over Monday night's alert day, what you need to know to start your week. Join us Sunday morning at 6:30.
The Packers are Detroit bound for the regular season finale against the Lions, and a lot of talk this week is whether or not the starters would be playing. Well, Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams both expressed their interest in wanting to get out there for the final games. A lot of it deals with keeping the momentum going and not taking off too much time in between last week's route and the first game of the playoffs. Now, on Matt LaFleur's end, it's about seeing how the flow of the game goes.
Here's the reality. This is not preseason game number 3 where you have 75 guys or 70 guys in uniform. We've got 48 players, so the guys are going to play. There could be a couple guys that come out early, but I would say the majority of our football team, when you only have 48 helmets on game day, they're going to play the majority, if not the whole game.
Kickoff is set for noon, and if the Packers come away with a win, LaFleur could match the most wins by a coach in a 3-year stretch with 40. All 5 starters posted double digits against Iowa, and this season there's multiple players who are making names for themselves, including Tyler Wall. The junior forward is quickly becoming a staple on offense. Right now he ranks 3rd on the team in scoring, putting up 16 points the other night against the Hawkeyes. But he's also making his presence known on the defensive front. Leads the team with 17 blocks and 2nd for average rebounds per game. He grabbed 9 the other night. And his production on both ends isn't going unnoticed.
He was huge. You know, he always does those little things with diving on the floor, getting rebounds, playing great defense. He obviously had a big assignment to be matched up with Keegan Murray, who's, you know, a great scorer and a great player. He did a great job of making his baskets difficult and really making it a challenge for him to see the ball go through the hoop. And offensively, you know, we know he's one of the best low post scorers out there. So whenever we can get him down there with the ball, we know it's an advantage for us.
And it's finally game day for the Badger men's hockey team. Their weekend series with Ohio State was originally supposed to begin last night. That got postponed by a day due to some COVID-19 issues. This is Wisconsin's first game since winning the Quick Trip Holiday Face-Off Tournament in Milwaukee. The puck just dropped at the Kohl Center. We'll have highlights tonight at 10. And heading to the Ice Pond, Waunakee is on an absolute tear. 10 straight wins with only 1 loss on the season, hosting Janesville this afternoon. Bluebirds, they're quick to settle in. Jake Schnaffer sneaks one in to give Janesville the early lead. Waunakee, they answer right back off the stick of the team's leading scorer. David Emmerich knots the game up at 1. Well, intermission seems to be just what the Warriors needed. 20 seconds out, Emmerich unassisted nets the go-ahead, and that leads off a 6-goal period for Waunakee. Emmerich completes a hat trick, tallies 4 points as the Warriors win their 11th straight 7-1. Austin?
Wow, and later on here tonight, we are going to cool down to about 8 degrees by tomorrow morning, but temperatures are actually going to stay in the upper 20s all the way up until around midnight. Then we clear out the last of the freezing drizzle, and then we're going to really see those temperatures dropping. But temperatures will continue to drop all the way through Sunday, Monday, and even Tuesday morning. By Tuesday afternoon, we will see some relief, but in the meantime, we do have an alert day in the forecast for Monday night and Tuesday morning, and that's because low temperatures are going to be around 5 to 10 below 0, depending on where you are. Here in Madison, I think it'll be about 6 degrees below 0 on that Tuesday morning. But by the afternoon, temperatures rise to the mid-20s. It'll actually feel quite nice compared to those very chilly days that we've had as of late. So tomorrow, get ready for it to cool right back down. Only a chance of flurries a little bit later on.
All right, thanks so much, Austin. That's all we have at 6. We'll see you tonight at 10.